So if you'd like to come to an easy seat, I'm sitting on a blanket. We won't stay too long sitting, but just to come to settle in this position to allow us to really ground through the base of the body. And to release through the hips. Taking your time to sense yourself here, sense the connection with the floor. And once you've found that ground, you might find you want to move a little bit, maybe move your shoulders, adjust where you are in your waist. It's nice to soften in the waist a little bit until you're able eventually to come to a few moments stillness together. I've got the pads of my thumbs and forefingers together in Chin Mudra for anyone who wants to join me. This is a hand gesture that allows us to tune into a wider sense of our consciousness here. You might like to notice the quality of your breath. And a principle I've been teaching with this week, a principle that you could also refer to as one of the yamas from Patanjali Sutras, is ahimsa. And ahimsa is a Sanskrit word meaning non-violence. It's one of the several principles, 10 in fact, that Patanjali put forward as a code for living in this world. Not as a commandment, but as an invitation to live life fully and to create a world you want to live in through your gestures, through our gestures. And non-violence could, of course, be understood at many levels. But it's really lovely to bring this principle into our practice on the mat. So we practice self-care whilst exploring the movements, the poses, the breath in this asana practice, this physical practice. And that might mean hanging back a little. It might mean not feeling you need to push yourself right into the fullest expression of whatever is being invited. One of the reasons I'm keen to reintroduce this principle, I have in the past, is because sometimes people injure themselves. And it may be through yoga or it may not be. But it's very distressing for me to imagine or think that people that come to my classes might injure themselves through this teaching. And that force, that injury, obviously is relevant on the mat, but it's relevant when we take our practice off the mat. Or rather, I should say that avoidance of force, that hanging back, that self-care. So taking the last few moments, settling here, maybe setting yourself an intention in view of what I've said, or something else. And bringing your hands together in front of the heart space. Taking a full breath in into the heart. And as you breathe out, bowing your head. So to seal your intention, your focus for this morning practice, bring it right in. And lifting your head as you next inhale, opening your eyes. And joining me now, sitting on your heels, if that's not possible, sitting up high. More or less in the middle of your mat. I'd like to begin the physical practice with a little salutation to the earth. So this means we really find the ground, and from the ground we flow, we move, we find buoyancy. Can you take your fingertips to the floor if you're kneeling right down? Feel the tops of your feet, your shins. And on a breath in, take your arms up the front. Bring your palms together and exhale, hands to the top of your head. On the next breath in, come up high. And breathing out, come down to an extended child's pose. Breathing into all fours and dip between the shoulder blades, lower the belly. Curl your toes under and breathe out, downward dog. You can keep your knees bent as this is the first one. Take a breath in, really make the breath count here. And exhale, lower your knees. Sit back to child. Breathing in, come up high. And as you breathe out, palms together, sitting back down, hands to the top of your head. Release your fingers to the floor. Breathing in, come up with your arms only. Now breathe out, hands together to the top of your head. Breathing in, come up high. Pelvis comes forwards. And breathe out, child. Breathe into all fours and dip between the shoulder blades, lower the belly. Curl your toes under, breathe out, downward dog. Take a breath in. On the breath out, drop your knees. Come back to child. Breathe in, come up high, pelvis comes forwards. And on the breath out, palms together to the top of your head as you sit back down. Release your fingers. Let's do another one. So lovely for the spine, gentle waking up. Breathing in, arms up the front. And breathe out, palms together to the top of your head. Breathing in, come up high. And breathe out, come to child. Breathing into all fours. Open your heart here. Curl your toes under, breathing out, downward dog. Lovely. Take a breath in. And then drop your knees. Sit back to child. Breathing in, come up high. And as you breathe out, hands to the top of your head, sitting back on your heels, fingers by your sides. Taking a moment to feel the body now after that earth salutation. And then meeting me again on all fours. And sliding the right leg behind you. Perfect. Find your stability here. And then on a breath in, lift up the leg, point your toes, maybe open the chest here, just a little back bend. And steadily with control, breathe out, bring your knee in towards the nose, push the back of the ribs towards the ceiling. And breathing in, we come up again. And breathing out, knee to nose. One more time, breathing in. Point the toes, energize through that leg. And breathe out, knee to nose. Breathing in, lift the leg behind you, but then lower the foot just beyond the left foot. So the heel is down, making sure that your left hand is underneath your shoulder. And you might find that your left foreleg comes a bit behind to find balance. And then we lift up the right arm, inhale. Exhale here. Whole body energized here. And then looking at your right fingertips, begin to circle that arm. And it's so lovely to really feel into the ribs, to feel into the shoulder socket. And if you're really looking at your fingers, your neck will also enjoy this gentle movement. And then reverse the direction of your circles. Breathe. It's a beautiful morning here in Lancaster, freezing but bright, and the birds are singing. Wonderful. And then place your right hand down. And again, in fact, can you turn your left toes under here to prepare for what's coming? Breathing in, lift up the right leg again. Breathe out, knee to nose. And now, if it's possible for you, breathe in, come to one-legged downward dog. Lift the right leg behind you. And breathe out, knee to nose here. Breathe in, lift the right leg behind you. And then step the foot in between your hands. Let's take a moment in this lunge with the back leg lifted. Heel over the toes so you get a nice stretch in the foot. Lower into the hips and relax the shoulders, shoulder blades down the spine. Take a breath here. Remembering the principle of ahimsa, non-violence. Take another breath in and then lower the back knee. We'll take a little rocking movement here, breathing in, rocking forwards, open the chest. And breathe out, come back a little. We're not trying to straighten that front leg. Just want to come into this movement, to come into the left hip flexor, the front of the left hip. Beautiful. And the next time you're forwards, bring the right hand inside the foot. It may be for you that you want to lift that back knee and slide it further back. You see what's good. Maybe walk your hands forwards. This is quite a big hip opener on the right hand side. and the front of the left. Maybe you place your forearms on the floor. It's also possible to place your forearms on a block here. And take a few breaths, softening wherever is possible. Are you soft up through the roof of your mouth, for example? Can you let go a little bit more here? Wonderful. And then coming back on your hands, straight arms. And walk your way around the long end of the mat. And we're going to move from side to side, feeling gently into the inside seam of the leg, into the groin. So as you come to one side, you can lift the toes of the other foot. Take your time, move as much as you like from side to side. So I'm keeping my hands down, but some of you might like to do this with the hands to the heart, whatever feels accessible right now. Lovely. And the next time you're over to the left, you're going to face the back of your mat and face over the left foot. And come back to an all fours position. Sliding the left foot behind you. Inhaling, lift the left leg. Point the toes, open the chest. We're engaging the back muscles. And breathe out, knee to nose, scoop up. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, scoop up, knee to nose. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, knee to nose. And then breathe in, lift. And place your foot down beyond the right foot. Steadying that right arm, hand underneath the shoulder. And lift up the left arm, breathing in here. Exhale, the whole body alive, engaged here. Taking your eyes to the left fingers, begin to circle that arm steadily, following the fingers with the eyes. And then reversing the direction. And placing your left hand back down. And curling your right toes under here. The left leg is extended. Well done, that's fantastic. On a breath in, lift up the left leg again. Point the toes. And breathe out, knee to nose. On the next breath in, we come to that one-legged downward dog. Lift the left leg, lovely. Exhale, knee to nose. Breathing in, lifting that left leg again. Point the toes. And then looking forward, step the left foot in between your hands. The right heel is up above the toes. So you really firm up that leg, stretch the sole of the foot and drop into the hips. Breathing here. Are you soft in the shoulders, the face? Are you open in your heart? Take a full breath in. And on the exhale, drop the back knee. And we'll take that gentle rocking forwards. Find your rhythm. And drawing back a little. So we're looking to really feel here into the front of the right hip. It's also a little opening for the quadricep on the right. Quite gentle. And then once you're forwards again, take a breath in. And bring the left hand inside the foot. Exhale. And here you choose if you want to take your hands out front, if you want to bring your forearms down. It's absolutely fine if the left knee or foot roll out to the side. And breathe. Where might it be possible to soften here? Beautiful. And then gently straightening up your arms. And slowly, mindfully bring yourself back around to face the long end of the mat. And we come to those moving, this is Skandasana, half squat. Some of you will have the heel on the floor and some of you will have it lifted. Doesn't matter, as long as you feel into the inside of your legs. Feel into the groin. Hands can be on the floor or not. And then we come around to face the front of our mat into a downward dog now. Feel the body now. Breathe. And you can do whatever you like in your downward dog. Intuitively feel what you need. Do you need to ripple? Do you need to twist? Seeking to melt between the shoulder blades a little here. Taking the weight back through the feet, not through the hands. And then we'll ripple forwards to plank. And take 5 breaths here. Take 5 breaths. Draw the front body into the back body. Really connect through the fingers. And imagine you're gripping a brick between your thighs as you push your heels out behind you. Lovely. I'm doing this because I know a lot of you want to build your upper body strength. Take a full breath in. And then can you, without dropping your knees, lower yourself super slowly all the way down to the mat. And bring your palms underneath your forehead and take a few breaths here. And we'll come onto our fingertips out to the side so that our elbows are pointing up. Really spread your fingers so you're making little tents with your hands, little teepees. And you should be able to feel between the shoulder blades. And then pressing the big toes, the tops of the feet, the pubic bone into the floor. And we're going to ripple up in a moving cobra, breathing in, chin to your chest as you come up, and then release the head. And breathe out, come down. Take it really slow, feel your way. Breathing in, come up. In a ripple, in a wave of movement, breathe out, come down. Breathing in, come up. And as you breathe out, can you look over your left shoulder? Bring your right shoulder with you. Lovely. Breathe into the front. And breathe out, look over your right shoulder, bring your left shoulder with you. And then one more time, breathe into the front. And breathe out, come down. You could either take a few breaths lying on your belly or back in a child's pose, gently coming back. Softening and settling. With this vigilance, with this gentle vigilance, awareness of how you're feeling at any moment in the practice. Yoga gives us that space to observe rather than hurtling through our lives. That can happen too. But things change if we take the space to observe, to notice. Breathe. And if you'd like to join me in a downward dog, finding your way there. And firming your connection through both hands and through the left foot now. And we lift the right leg up, point the toes, inhale. And exhale, knee to nose again. Your shoulders come over your wrists. And breathe in, come up again, lift. And breathe out, knee to nose. This is great for core strengthening. One more time, breathe in, lift. And exhale, knee to nose. And just at the end of that exhale, bring your foot forwards, again in between your hands. And again, make sure that your back heel is over the toes and you're really finding the ground here through the feet. And from the ground, come up. Chandrasana, Crescent Lunge. You should really find your stability and from there, lift your arms up. And if you bend the back knee, see what that gives you in terms of sensation in front of the left hip and the thigh. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's not take this too seriously. I'm saying that to myself as much as to you. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, can you pop that left knee up into your hands? As you breathe in, can you find that crescent lunge again? And as you breathe out, can you pop the left knee into your hands? Breathing in, find the crescent lunge again. And breathe out, pop the left knee into your hands. Lovely. Breathe in back to your crescent lunge. And then find your plank. Taking a breath in your plank. And then if you want to build your strength, lowering yourself all the way down. If you need to drop your knees, please do. And let's take a breath in and out here. And then breathing in, roll your shoulders to your ears to peel up the chest. Head comes last. And breathe out, come back down. Curl your toes under. Come back to a downward dog. Feel the body, feel the breath. Firming through both hands. Hands are like starfish. And your right foot now.
On the next breath in, lift the left leg up, point the toes. Wonderful, knee to nose, shoulders over your wrists. Breathing in, come back, find a rhythm. Breathe out, knee to nose. Breathing in, come back. Lovely, knee to nose, hold, and then step the left foot forwards. Right heel over the toes. So you really find the ground. Because you know what's coming now. We come up, we fly from the ground. Come up into your lunge, your Chandrasana. Maybe bending the right knee a little. And it's good to lift from the pubic bone here. I don't mean clench the belly in. You don't want tightness, but that aware, gentle engagement of the inner core. Lift your arms up and breathe. Find your stability. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, pop your right knee into your hands. Breathing in, step back. Breathing out, pop your right knee up. Breathing in, come back. And breathe out, pop your right knee up. Breathing in, step back. And again, we find plank. If it's getting too much for you, you drop the knees. Take a full breath in and lower yourself your way down to the mat. Take a breath in and out here. And then breathe in, take your Bhujangasana, your little cobra. Engaging the back muscles as you open the front of the body. And breathe out, come back down. Coming back to a downward dog. Anytime you need to, you rest. We float the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose just once this time and step the foot forwards. Find the ground. Come straight up into your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, sweep your arms behind you as you lean forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms behind you, sweep forwards, open chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. And now inhale, lift. And exhale, pop your left knee into your hands. Inhale, find your lunge. Exhale, knee to hands. Inhale, lunge. And this time, bring your knee up and stay a moment. Find the ground through the right foot. And if you would like to, begin to unfold into warrior three. Left leg behind you, push through that heel. Reach the arms forwards, all behind you. Breathe. From the ground up, find the buoyancy. Take a breath in and then gently step back into your lunge. Well done. Breathing in here, and we find our plank. Breath in your plank, and then come down to the mat your way. Breathe in and out, just flat. And then gently bring yourself into your cobra, rippling it up. Inhale. And exhale, come down. Inhale to all fours, find your downward dog. We'll take that to the left. Lifting your left leg up, point the toes. This is the last time. Exhale, knee to nose and step the foot forwards. From the ground, come up into your Crescent Lunge. Take a breath in, gathering yourself, and then arms behind you. Reach forward with the chest. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out. Breathing in, come up. And then exhale, step your right knee in towards your hands. Breathing into your lunge. Exhale, step it up. Breathing into your lunge. Exhale, step it up. So you could stay here, really grounding through that left foot, or unfurl into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Breathe. Take a full breath in, and then lightly we'll step back into your lunge. Bit of wobble. Take a breath in and join me in a plank. Breathe into your plank. And now choose your way down to the mat. Choose a little back bend. And come back to downward dog and or rest in child. Some of you might want to take a few breaths in dog before you settle down with the rest of us and soften into child, let go. And take your time to recenter, to settle, to find your own stillness and your own truth, your own honesty in your practice. Only you know. Only you know what happens when you're taken maybe a bit out of your comfort zone. Only you know if you were true to yourself in terms of hanging back a little if you needed to. Softening in the roof of your mouth. Softening behind the ribs. And then when you're ready, coming back to kneeling. If you need to, of course, kneel up high. And we interlace our hands behind our backs. Roll the shoulders up and back here to open the chest, draw the shoulder blades together. And then you can release your arms behind you if that works. So I don't want you to flare out the ribs. It's not like you're sticking your ribs and your belly out. Draw them in so that this posture allows us into the thoracic, into the mid to upper back, open chest. Maybe you take your head up, maybe not. Breathe. wide and open in the chest, open across the shoulders. Take a full breath in and then breathe out, release. Wonderful. And then please step your right foot forwards, left knee behind you. Actually, I'm so sorry. I'd just like to alter that. Can you come back to an all fours position? And take your right leg behind you. And lift the right leg and bend the knee. So you need to really stabilize through the right arm as you sweep your left arm to the raised foot. If you can, you flex the foot, look over your right shoulder, and come into a little balancing back bend here. Breathe. Really push the foot into your hand. So there's a lot about balance, a lot about strength. Take a full breath in. And then step that right foot in between your hands. Curl the back toes under. And breathing in, lifting up your arms. Palms together, breathe out. Really press the heels of your hands together. As you come into a little bit of extension here, a little bit of a back bend. Your pelvis is moving forwards, you're reaching out behind you. Inhale. And on the exhale, take your hand behind your head. Pressing the heels of your hands together. Inhale, lift. And then on the exhale, can you take your left hand to your back heel, right hand to the knee? If it's not available to you, take your left hand to your lower back. But look forwards again. Drawing the right hip back, the left hip forwards. And if it's available, take your right arm up and past your ear. So we're bringing a little back bend into our low lunge, our dragon, or our Anjaneyasana. It's also like a little half camel, Ustrasana. Take a full breath in, and then release. Gently, slowly bring yourself back to all fours. Noticing how you feel. Left leg behind you. Lift the left leg, bend the knee. You need to really stabilize through the left arm as you sweep your right hand to take hold of that foot. Flexing the foot if you can and looking over your right shoulder. Breathe. So you're really engaging the back muscles as you balance. And you push the foot into the hand as you pull the hand into the foot. Take a full breath in. Look forwards and step the left foot forwards. Right toes curl under. And we breathe in and come up. Palms together, press the heels together of your hands as you reach back behind you. We're looking for length in the side body, side of the ribs, as you press the heels of the hands together. Pelvis is moving forwards. Take a breath in, and then exhale, hands behind your head. Take a full breath in, and then exhale, release. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Inhaling, come back up. And then exhale, take your right hand to your back heel, left hand to the knee. As you look forwards. So you're encouraging your right hip forwards, your left hip back. Maybe take the left arm past your ear. And come into this beautiful Anjaneyasana back bend. It's like a mix between Anjaneyasana and Ustrasana. Camel and a low lunge. Breathe your back bend. Take a full breath in. And then breathe out, release. Well done. Bringing both hands down. Now we meet on all fours. And begin to take gentle circles with your hips. So what we've been doing could be felt in the lower back now. I don't know if it is for you. I'm feeling it a little bit. So I'm just gently soothing things out, soothing out the hips, soothing out the lower back. And it's a bit naughty of me in a way to suggest that theme of ahimsa in a class where there's so much invitation into these juicy poses where it just could feel so good to go a bit deeper. And I catch myself at that all the time. It's very hard. It's the hardest thing. Please reverse your circles. It's the hardest thing to hang back, to not really go for it. And now in your own time, either take a child's pose, that's what I'm going to do, or you might feel you want a downward dog. Come to settle. So I'm very, very pleased to see everybody in child now. Come to settle. Where can you soften? How is your breath? And then coming back to sit on your heels. Of course, sit up high if you can't sit low. And taking your fingertips behind you. If you're sitting up high, take your hands to the lower back. And without lifting the bottom up, if you're sitting low, we come into an open chest. Chin can lift. And really reach the chest forwards and up. As we take a few breaths here. Soften the roof of the mouth. Soften the jaw. And take a full breath in, and on the breath out, straighten and feel the body. I hope you're feeling lovely around the chest, shoulders, feeling lovely and bright. And now we all come up high and curl the toes under. So what we just did with 1 foot forwards in a lunge was probably harder than well, it'll depend on each one of us, but it might be harder than the full Ustrasana pose, the full camel pose. Can you take your left knee back to your heel, just like you did when you were with your foot forwards? Lovely. But then encourage the pelvis forwards. Pushing your thighs forwards, lovely. And then take your right arm up by your ear. So we're in a half Ustrasana. Notice what's going on with your lower belly. Are you just hanging? Can you have a gentle lift from the pubic bone? So we engage the abdomen and we follow the curve of our back bend up the front of the spine. Take a full breath in. And then on the exhale, straighten up, release your hands. And we'll just take that to the other side. Right hand to the heel. First of all, take your pelvis forwards, brighten the chest. And then lift your left arm up past your ear.
And there's a sense of your inner thighs working as well. There's a lot of stability required to come into this back bend. You're supporting yourself from the inner thighs, from the lower belly. It's really the psoas muscle working hard here. Take a full breath in, and on the exhale, straighten and sit back down a moment. Notice how you feel. Hope you're all feeling okay. Any signs? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, just one last Ustrasana if you have it in you, otherwise come to rest in child. This time we'll take both hands at the same time. If you're having any back pain, of course, just rest now. Otherwise, take one hand to one heel and then take the other hand to the other heel. And you could just lean back a moment so you can see my body's at a slant. And then from here, begin to explore the back bend, take the front body forwards. Only take your head back if that is absolutely okay for your neck, and breathe. Remember your principle of ahimsa here. Take a full breath in, and on the breath out, gently straighten chin to your chest. Sit back on your heels. Taking a moment, neutral spine before we come into a gentle forward fold. Just noticing whatever's going on for you right now. So I don't like to come from Ustrasana straight into a forward fold. It's good just to come to straight back to begin with, and then we can lean forwards and come first of all onto your forearms. So I feel quite tender now in my lower back. I don't know about you. So it feels important to take a few breaths there to soothe it out. Imagine you're filling pockets of air into each buttock, into each hip, and then all across the back of the pelvis. And I'd like to take a little forward folding sequence that we've been doing a lot recently, that Pete Blackaby practices, and I just really love it. This will be the last thing we do before we rest. So if you'd like to straighten your arms now, curl your toes under so you sit back on your heels. And gently begin to lower your heels towards the floor as you come into a very lazy downward dog. This is a forward fold, but then immediately walk your hands in to your feet. So you come into an Uttanasana, standing forward fold. You can take your feet out a little bit further as you drop into a squat, a Malasana. And feel how this opens out the lower back. Can you feel that? Creating that space in the lower back, but we don't stay, we come back to our forward fold, feet parallel. We walk back to a downward dog. We drop the knees, sit back towards the heels. Maybe take a couple of rounds in your own time now. Dog, forward fold, Malasana squat. And if you love a pose like the squat so much that you want to stay, you stay.
I'm going to take one more full round, but if you're ready for your Shavasana now, come to Shavasana, it's all good. From your final squat, you could take your hands behind you. And come to lying down now. If there's anything else you feel you need, then please go ahead. Might be just lovely to bring your knees into your chest. A little rock here. There's a lot of back bending in that class. And when you are ready to settle, really drop yourself to the floor, to the earth, giving yourself up to the force of gravity. And inviting your sankalpa, your intention, back into the space of your heart. And observe as you relax. How much more can you soften your skin boundary now? I'm feeling a spaciousness, a softness in each joint of the body. And it may be you want to rest longer, you have time to rest longer, that would be lovely. But it is 1:30, so when you're ready, maybe taking a few slightly deeper breaths. Any movements that help you transition from your relaxation. Maybe onto one side. Maybe joining me. Sitting, no obligation at all. Please do your own thing. But if you are sitting with me, bringing your hands together in front of the heart space, closing your eyes and simply noticing how you feel now. Not an easy class today. How did you find it and how did it find you? And taking a full breath in. And as you breathe out, bowing your head, chin to your chest. Allowing the breath in to lift your head gently. Opening your eyes. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Namaste.